In the freight and logistics industry, cash flow is everything. Whether you're a small carrier, mid-sized broker, or large 3PL, timely payments fuel your ability to operate, grow, and meet financial obligations. Yet, many companies fail to realize just how much their credit rating hinges on the behavior of a few key customers. In fact, it only takes one large client consistently paying late or defaulting entirely to significantly damage your credit profile and reputation in the transportation marketplace. In this video, we'll explore how credit scores are impacted by aging receivables, break down real-world anonymized examples from the TransCredit network, and offer actionable advice to help you prevent a single slow-paying customer from dragging your entire business down. First, understanding freight industry credit scoring. Before we dive into the examples, let's clarify how credit is typically assessed in freight. Transportation credit bureaus like TransCredit aggregate data from thousands of factoring companies, carriers, brokers, and shippers. These organizations regularly submit accounts receivable or AR aging data, which reflects how timely or not a company pays its bills. This data feeds into key components of your business credit score, including DTP or days to pay average, percentage of current versus past due invoices, high credit limits and total credit exposure, and collection or legal action reports. Unlike consumer credit, one large delinquent relationship can heavily skew your payment profile, especially if that relationship makes up a large percentage of your total AR. That's where the real risk lies. Let's look at case study number 1, the 80-20 exposure trap. Company A freight broker with $5 million in annual revenue with a top customer of $1 million in annual receivables. Company A built a solid book of business over 3 years, establishing itself as a reliable mid-sized broker. However, nearly 20% of its revenue was tied to one manufacturing client. Let's call them Client Z. For the first year, Client Z paid within 30 to 35 days. But in late Q2, their payments started stretching out to 45, then 60, and finally over 90 days. Because Client Z represented such a large percentage of Company A's AR, their late payments rapidly impacted the broker's credit score. Here's what happened. Company A's average days to pay jumped from 34 to 58 days in just one quarter. Their percentage of invoices past 60 days went from 4% to 28%. As factoring companies updated their shared data, brokers, carriers, and load boards began flagging Company A as medium risk. Even though other customers were still paying on time, the weight of one major delinquent account skewed the entire profile. Eventually, several carriers began demanding payment in advance, and one major factoring partner paused approvals on Company A's loads altogether. Case study number 2, the domino effect of legal action. Company B, a small carrier with 6 power units, and their top broker account, 65% of total revenue. Company B operated in the Southeast with a tight but manageable book of brokered freight. One broker, Broker R, accounted for nearly 2/3 of its freight volume and had a great pay history, until suddenly they didn't. When Broker R stopped paying on time, Company B let it slide for a few weeks, trusting that maybe it was just a simple paperwork issue. Unfortunately, Broker R was under internal financial stress and eventually defaulted on over $80,000 owed to Company B. Here's how this affected Company B. Company B had to file UCC liens and begin collections. Their AR showed a significant concentration of aged receivables over 90 days. Credit reporting agencies flagged this change, and Company B's score dropped from low risk to high risk. Some fuel card providers lowered their credit limits due to the new score. They were declined for a line of credit increase that was crucial for their planned expansion. The blowback wasn't just financial, it was reputational too. Even brokers with no direct involvement with Broker R saw the high-risk flag and began rerouting freight to lower-risk carriers. Now let's dive in a little deeper as to why one customer can have such a big impact. There are several reasons why one late-paying customer, especially a larger one, can disproportionately hurt your credit profile. 1. AR weighting and credit algorithms. Most commercial credit scoring models factor in both the number of accounts and the dollar value of receivables. If 50% of your outstanding receivables are past due, even from just one customer, it signals heightened financial risk to creditors and trading partners. 2. Recency and frequency of payment delays. Credit scoring systems are sensitive to trends. A recent large delay, especially if it's sustained, will carry more weight than an older issue that's been resolved. 3. Data sharing by factoring companies and carriers. In the freight industry, many of your trading partners are actively reporting payment behavior. If a factor flags your company for non-payment, even if it's not your fault, that note may appear in multiple credit databases, affecting how others may perceive your company. Here are a few proactive steps to protect your credit score. You can't control every customer's payment behavior, but you can insulate your credit score from the fallout of a single delinquent client. Here's how. 1. Diversify your revenue. The golden rule of freight finance: never let any one customer represent more than 20 to 25% of your receivables. If a customer creeps beyond that threshold, scale down their load allocation until you rebalance your AR. 2. Set internal credit limits. Just like you want credit limits with vendors, you should establish limits on the amount of credit you extend to each customer. This prevents you from building excessive exposure with any one particular account. 3. Monitor your aging closely. Don't wait until receivables are over 60 days past due. Monitor aging weekly and send reminders at about 21 to 30 days. Consider freezing load activity once an account hits a specific threshold, for example, $15,000 over 45 days. 4. Use credit protection services. Services like TransCredit's credit management and protection plan can help you report slow payers, monitor risk, and automatically flag changes to your own or others' credit profiles. This visibility is crucial. And 5, communicate and escalate early. When a major customer starts delaying payments, escalate quickly. Communicate in writing, document everything, and start collecting partial payments where possible to avoid full account delinquency. It's worth mentioning the freight credit reputation game. In today's volatile freight environment, having a strong credit reputation is more important than ever. With margin shrinking and fraud rising, shippers and brokers are checking credit before every transaction. Your score can determine whether you get the load or lose it to a competitor. One customer may not seem like a big risk until they are. And by the time your credit profile reflects the damage, it may be too late to undo the reputational harm. Some final thoughts. Stay vigilant, stay diversified. Late payments are part of the game in freight, but don't let one customer define your creditworthiness. Stay diversified, manage exposure, and use credit monitoring tools to stay ahead of potential issues. Your credit score isn't just a number, it's a reflection of trust. Protect it, and it will protect your business in return. Do you need help monitoring or building your transportation business credit? TransCredit offers real-time risk alerts, unlimited credit report access, and tools to report slow-paying customers. Reach out today to learn how we help carriers, brokers, and shippers protect their financial standing and grow smarter. We thank you for watching and hope you continue to find useful takeaways for your business. Visit our website at www.transcredit.com to explore more useful information and all the different ways TransCredit can help. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at TransCredit. We appreciate you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.